Take you back.
To the main event of the evening on the 25th, the heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder, against Gerald Washington for the BC title. As almost everyone on this call knows, Deontay's already coming off a big win this week, so it's been quite a week for Team Wilder, and he didn't get the chance to beat up Povetkin in Russia because Povetkin cheated, but we did get the chance to beat him. We did get the chance to beat him in a federal district court in New York, and we did that. So, and funny enough, as things happen, we had another opponent for Deontay in Birmingham, Alabama on the 25th, and that opponent tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug. So, as a result of that, the fight fans and the people of Alabama are actually going to get to see a better fight against an opponent who's a clean guy and a much more interesting person. Gerald Washington, 6'6", 34 years old, El Gallo Negro, born to an African-American dad and a Mexican-American mom, ranked number 8 by the WBC, hopes to become the first Mexican-American world heavyweight champion, has a number of good wins in a row, but his backstory is really interesting. Here's a man that spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy as a helicopter mechanic serving his country. He attended University of Southern California, where he played tight end and defensive end on a football team. Was a member of the practice squads for the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills, so he's a hell of an athlete. And if you've seen him in person, he's a huge man. And as big an imposing guy he is to look at, he's a real man's man and a really nice person, and it's been a pleasure to get to know Gerald a little bit in recent months. I want to acknowledge my co-promoter on this heavyweight title fight, TGB Promotions, and it's always a pleasure to work with them and my friend Tom Brown. And without further ado, El Gallo Negro, Gerald Washington.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going with you, Gerald? It's about to be the opportunity of a lifetime.
Yeah, we're very excited for the opportunity, man. It's a dream come true, and I look forward to fighting Deontay Wilder in his backyard, man, for the WBC title, man. It's an amazing opportunity for me. We're ready to take the challenge on.
Great. And on this call, we're going to all be together on the call, and the fighters will be available to answer questions together. Right after I get a chance to introduce a man I'm extremely proud to be able to work with. He's a credit to the sport, as well as the most exciting heavyweight in my mind in the world. He has knockout power and a knockout ratio unlike anybody else's. The Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder. Deontay?
Fellas, how you guys doing? Hello.
Everybody's good, Deontay. How you feeling this week?
I'm feeling good, man. You already know it's been a long week, but I'm feeling great. I'm always excited when it's time to fight. I'm back home again in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm feeding my people, and I'm excited. I'm taking one step at a time to unify all the belts in the division. So, I'm overwhelmed. I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
And without further ado, I'm going to open it up to questions for either man.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue. Our first question is going to come from Bob Veland from USA Today. Please go ahead.
Hey, Deontay, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Hey, how difficult was it for you to come back from, those two fights that that got canceled, and then you had to fight a new guy that you weren't prepared for, and I mean, how tough a period was that for you?
I wouldn't say it was really tough. Maybe more so mentally. Everything knowing that I got a fight coming up and all that, and changing opponents, and it's been a whole big mess. It's been a whole big mess, but it's been a good mess because we won, and that brings a little bit more excitement to my energy towards the fight. It's like a booster, and if you're not prepared for certain things, then it maybe could distract you or knock off your focus on the test that lies at hand. But unfortunately, with me, I'm very mind strong. I'm mentally strong, and I know things happen, and you just got to be able to adjust. I'm very good at adjusting and roll with the punches of things. So here we are now.
Yeah, I mean, and the difficulty of preparing for somebody that you have to you're used to one guy, and all of a sudden you gotta prepare for another guy. How tough is that?
Well, it's just all about your game plan, really. It's all about your team and what game plans they have for you. I've been through this before. It's a lot. It's not too many things that I haven't experienced yet in my career. I've dealt with this before early in my career. Actually, my debut, out of all fights, maybe a couple of days before the fight, my opponent got changed up, a different weight, a different style, a different size, a different height. I didn't even know I was fighting an orthodox opponent, but they didn't even tell me nothing about the guy was being southpaw and then. So everything changed. But I had to, in the ring, I had to adjust, and I had to deliver. What can you do in these situations? It's a learning process. With everything you go through from the start to the finish, it's a learning process, and it brings experience. So I'm gonna look forward to fighting Joe Washington back home in Birmingham, Alabama, and getting the folks that's going to be watching and the people that's going to be in the audience a great show.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Good luck.
Our next question is going to come from Mitch Aperson from theringtv.com. Please go ahead.
I have a question for Gerald. Hey, Gerald, how are you?
Doing good. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, just curious. Deontay had this trial that he had to go through and sit through last week. I mean, do you think that that's going to be any kind of a disruption or for him in his training? I mean, how did you view him having to be present at a trial while he's preparing for you in this fight?
First of all, I'd like to congratulate him on that. It's not it wasn't his fault that the situation happened like that, but big props to him and his team, for getting through that. We're preparing for the best Deontay Wilder that there is. I'm not gonna get caught up with all the other stuff that's going on. I'm worried about the Bronze Bomber and everything that he's bringing. You know what I'm saying? And everything that he's learned along the way. I gotta be prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? He's a hell of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta put it all on the line at night. You know what I'm saying? This fight is very important to me, and it's gonna take everything I got.
Joe, what gives you confidence in this matchup against Deontay? I mean, is it Deontay's style? I mean, do you see holes in his skill set? I mean, what gives you confidence in this fight?
No, I mean, we all know, Deontay Wilder is a big, strong, strong knockout puncher. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there. He's got the Olympic experience. He's been in there with all the pros, in the sparring camps and stuff like that, and he's learned a lot along the way. So, for me, it's not. I can't focus too much on what Deontay Wilder is bringing to the table. I just got to make sure that my game is tight and my game is strong and able to to challenge Deontay Wilder. I just gotta come prepared mentally and physically and just put it all on the line. Like I said, it's gonna take a mixture of everything that I know, to go up against him. I only have 14 amateur fights, I only have 19 professional fights. I don't have all the experience that this guy has, you know what I'm saying? So it's going to take a lot of smarts from me and just like you said, mental toughness, you know what I'm saying, to get through this.
Okay, thanks. Good luck.
Our next question is going to come from Dan Rafael from ESPN. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. My first question is for Deontay. Hey, Deontay, as Mitch mentioned about asking Gerald about his thoughts about you having to go up to New York and sit through that trial last week, I'd like to know from your point of view, how, if at all, disruptive was it to your training schedule to have to be up in New York while you sat through the trial with Povetkin?
Yeah, it's first off, it was sad that it had to go to that distance. And with the whole situation, the whole situation was just ridiculous. And thank God it's over, it's behind me, and we can move forward with it because it was a very stressful situation. And but it comes a point in time where things don't always go as planned in your life, and you got to understand that anybody that has dealt with anything in their life, that it came unexpectedly, or just came in your way, and you didn't know how to handle it. You knew that you failed in some type of way. So with that being said, although I had to go through so many different things, even with the weather, I almost got sick up there because it was so cold. I had to go it was a big mess. Trust me, it was a mess. But at the end of the day, I had to stay focused. I got to stay focused. People don't understand this business that we sign up to do. This is the hurt business. Like, you can't have no mercy. You can't have no pity. You can't be sorry for yourself. You must train. You must focus. You must stay focused on the task that lies ahead. If not, you will get injured. You will get hurt or seriously knocked out. And I understand the consequences and the situation that I'm in and the stuff like that. So with that being said, I must stay focused. Whoever get in the ring, no matter who they are, no matter what their record is or nothing, because at the end of the day, they still have two hands, they have 2 feet, and they come to fight. And you must respect a fighter that come to fight, and sometimes they feel like they don't have nothing to lose. When you're the champion, people feel like you have more to lose because you got that title. But, my mentality is I go in with a mentality of I don't have nothing to lose because I'm not looking to lose nothing. That's just my mentality. I've been through so much. Nothing has, just like Tony was saying, nothing has been given to me. I said every fight, every press conference, nothing has been given to Deontay Wilder. So with that being said, nothing is going to be taken from me. So I must stay focused. I must. It's an absolute must to stay focused. And if you can't stay focused, this is the wrong business for you.
So how disruptive was it then? Were you able? You think you were up there about 3 days? Were you able to train when you weren't sitting in court? What was the deal with your training while you were away?
How long? 3 days. I was up there for a week and a day.
Oh, okay, 8 days.
But we still had times to get training in. I brought Mark with me, so we had time to get training in. But sometimes we didn't. I'm gonna be honest about it. Sometimes the weather prevented a lot of things. We had a snowstorm up there. It was very cold. The roads was icy. Sometimes trial would be hell of a long. It would be tiring just to be up in there, just to hear the bitter and battle going on. Which this case was a common sense case. We didn't need evidence, really. It's a common sense case. But we had to go through a lot of things, but I think we managed to do the things that we needed to do to continue to keep training for this fight. Most of all, my mindset was still in the right place.
This is your second time you've had a scheduled fight. First the Povetkin fight last year, then the fight with Warshik that was supposed to be the one on next Saturday. Both get canceled because your opponent test positive because you insisted on VADA drug testing. What do you think when you hear that not one opponent, but 2 opponents, and then Povetkin, not even in your fight, had a second positive test just several months after your fight was canceled? What is it? Do you just shake your head like all these, like you can't get a guy clean on a first time to sign a contract to fight you? Like, what are your thoughts about that, having 2 guys in a row test positive against you?
Dan, you hit the nail right on the head, man. As you described it to me, I've replayed it back in my head as you described these guys that's taking these drugs and stuff, and that's exactly what I was doing. I was shaking my head. It's sad. It's sad for the sport, and I just hope something, even more be done about this situation before it ruins the sport of boxing. You know, I think the WBC is doing a fabulous job in bringing the doping program and having these fighters to sign up for it, and if they don't, then they're off the rankings. But I also would like to see it go into second gear. I want to see some punishment done. I want to see if you do this, if you put steroids or anything that has your body to do what it's not naturally supposed to do, I think you should not only get suspended, but maybe indefinitely, or fine, something. We need to put something on it. This case right here was the first step of letting all these other fighters know that it's a consequences behind your action that will be applied to you if you decide to use. But it need to be something else even more deeper than taking this money. They need to take their career away from them because this is ridiculous. And I always use myself as an example. I'm naturally strong, without weights, without training, with anything. I'm God-given Alabama country strong. I've always been that way. But just imagine if I use anything to enhance my body. Did you see my last fight with Spuka? Just imagine if I had something in my body. The man would have been dead because I always thought he was dead. So, it's just sad. It's a lot of these guys doing it. I know some of them that's still doing it because I already got worries of it. But that's going to be up to them to get themselves right, get their act right, because when they come in this fight business, nobody's playing around, man. It's just ridiculous, and it's just sad. I hope it just get cleaned up. Everybody get clean. That way we can continue on with this great sport of boxing, and people can get the fights that they want to see. I hope. I just hate to see that we have such great fighters out here, and some of the fights is not going to happen because they want to use. Just like the Povetkin and me, I was looking forward to that fight. I was looking forward to going to Russia, defending my country, United States against Russia. What a better country to defend your country against with Russia? You know what I mean? I was looking forward to that, but I couldn't do it because of somebody's actions. So before they mess up this sport, they need to clean it up.
Deontay, thank you for that. I had a question for Gerald also. Hey, Gerald, good to talk to you today. When the other opponent dropped out because of his positive drug test or was forced out of the fight because of the positive drug test, and you got the call, my understanding was you already were preparing for a different fight. Is that the case?
Yeah, I was. I didn't know for sure when the date was or who the opponent was going to be or anything like that. I was just hoping. I stay in the gym all the time. So it wasn't a matter. It wasn't a matter of that. But it was funny how I made a post about that. I said to Deontay, I just put it on my Instagram. I said, hey, if anything happens, I'm right here. And if something did happen, and that's crazy. It was crazy, man. But it happened, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I'm glad that we stay in the gym. And we stay prepared and we stay working on our stuff. You know what I'm saying? We always stay right there, striking distance away. So with the month, it was plenty of time for us to get ready. Is it all the time that we would have liked to prepare for a world championship fight? No. I'm sure we would have liked a full camp. But it's okay. We're all right now. You know what I'm saying? We're where we need to be, and we're ready to go.
Gerald, also, there's been a lot of written and said and kind of dissected over the years about athletes who played football who maybe it didn't work out for them in football who then try to become top-level boxers. You were one of those guys that's trying to make that jump. Can you just talk about the differences, do you think, as far as training to be on a football field, and now here you are in a one-on-one sport like boxing, and do you think you can be the guy that can get over the hump and show that, a guy that was maybe a good college football player, a middling professional player, I know you played on some of the practice squads, to turn that into, big-time success as a professional boxer and perhaps win this heavyweight title?
Yeah, it's a lot of differences. I was just telling somebody the other day, the cool part about it is walking into the stadium with your teammates. You feel like you got a little army right there. You lock arms. You're in the tunnel and you swaying back and forth. It's war time. Let's take it outside. War time. Let's take it outside. You got 100 guys doing that, man. You go out on the field, man. You ready to rock. But when you step in that ring, you're in there by yourself. You're in there by yourself, man. So you still got your team in you, but when that bell rings, man, you got to go to war by yourself, man. So you got to be prepared, man, physically and mentally, and you got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to fight back and stand your ground and and go to work, man. You know, I had a lot of learning lessons along the way. You know what I'm saying? And this is gonna be another one. You know, my learning never stops. But this is a great opportunity for me, and I feel that I'm ready for this right now. You know what I'm saying? This came at the right time. God put me in this position, and you know, with all those failed drug tests and the injuries and all the stuff that happened, man, all the stuff that happened for me to be here, I'm here right now, and I'm putting in the work, and me and my team, we put together a great plan, and we having fun. You know what I'm saying? And now it's time.
All right, great, Gerald. Thank you for that. Deontay, thank you. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from John Zenora from the Associated Press. Please go ahead.
Hi, this is for Deontay. You've always been a guy who wanted to stay active probably every 3 or 4 fights a year. So how tough was this what for you was a pretty long layoff, and were there any ways that you could work to get better with your left or anything when you were rehabbing?
Please, could you repeat that one more time, please?
Yeah, you've always been such an active fighter, wanting to fight several times a year. So how tough was this layoff for you, which was a pretty long one for you? And were there any ways, with your left or anything that you could work to improve your footwork, anything when you couldn't train?
Oh yeah, it really hurted me to my heart that I couldn't fight. Anybody knows me knows that I don't just love this sport. I am in love with it. I'm really in love with this sport. I'm obsessed with boxing. I eat, breathe, and sleep it. I do it all. This is my life. This is not a hobby for me. This is a lifestyle for me, and I address it accordingly. I take it very, very seriously. So when I can't do something that I love, it really hurts me a little bit. And my motivation is my children. I got 4 beautiful, intelligent children I love to death, and I'm building for them. All this is for them. Daddy don't want to be in boxing long. I want to accomplish my goals and dreams, and I'm out of here. I'm building for them, and I'm going to stick by that. But when I can't do it, and I can't provide, and I can't feel like I'm taking a next step forward instead of going backward, it kind of gets me down, gets me sad a little bit. But I know a man that's always with me, and and he'll never forsake me. And that's my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. We've been through a lot in my life, and every step of the way, He's always been there for me. Every step has always been a learning process for me, an experience process for me. So I'm very thankful that the things that have happened for me, done to me, even with the broken hands and stuff like that, because it allowed me to build an even better relationship with my left. For me, I work on everything. I still continue to work on the right hand, the left hook, the jab, feet work, positioning, different situations that we may face with different opponents. I still work on everything over and over and over and over and over because I want to be a muscle memory. Once I feel like I'm not learning no more in this sport, I'm out. I'm out of here. And this is a dangerous sport, man. It's, every time I fight, I always ask myself the question, do you really want to do this? Do you still want to do this? You really want to go in there and get your head hit by these big guys with these small gloves? I ask myself that question every fight. But at the end of the day, I'm still here because I'm in love with it. It's just like a woman. A man could do so much to her, but she's still there because she loves him. And that's how I am with this sport. So I'm looking forward to testing out my hands and my bicep, and I'm looking forward to bringing more skills to the table with the left hook and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to the fight overall.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Kendrick Johnson from theringtv.com. Please go ahead.
How you doing, Deontay?
Doing good, brother. How about yourself?
What's up, man? You're a hard man to get caught up on defending this belt. How much with your legacy as you get more involved? Because like it's been documented how much you stay active. How much is it the fact that you're getting these defenses and each time you're bringing out another wrinkle that nobody has seen before? Is that something that you pride yourself on, or is it just about, at the end of the day, just getting your hand raised regardless of what happens?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about getting your hand raised, whether you look good or bad. At the end of the day, the objective is to win, whether it's an ugly win or a pretty win, and that's what we try to do. But, of course, we try to look good while we do it. And, as far as my legacy is concerned, I'm planning on big things for me and for now and in the future. when I structured my career, I look at Muhammad Ali, which is my all-time favorite and an idol of mine, and what he have done for this sport. He was a real life hero. You know, he was the true definition of a true champion. Wasn't afraid of nobody and wasn't scared to go to wherever you were, even if it was your backyard. And that's the things that I want to do. I want to travel to different countries and defend my title, whether it's in their backyard or I go to a country and they love me and I make it my backyard. You know, I want to do those things like that, you know, because that belt says the heavyweight champion of the world. It don't say be complacent in the United States of America. So that's my footsteps that I want to follow, Muhammad Ali. You know, what he's done for boxing inside and outside of the ring. You know, I think I have all the attributes and the assets to do those things. People just relate to me everywhere I go. And people relate because the thing about people, you know, they know bullshit when they see it. You know, and I come straight forward and honest with everybody. You know, and people love me. No matter where I go, they love me. My attitude, my personality, the things about. Even though I'm a fighter, you know, we always get stereotyped with people all over. But fighters are some of the best, coolest guys ever. And after the sport, business-wise, I want my career. I'm looking for my career to be like Larry Holmes, a businessman, somebody that invests and did the right thing. So when it's time for me to leave, Deontay would not be returning or looking back.
Does this whole Povetkin type of situation make you leery to go to somebody's backyard? And this is a second part of the question. Assuming that you defend your title and everything and get out healthy, does your attention automatically shift to the Klitschko Joshua winner, or you just get that fight whenever it happens, or is it a big deal to unify those belts by the end of 2017? And
what was the first question?
You say you wanted to defend the belt anywhere all over the world the way you've been active. Does the Povetkin situation kind of make you leery to do that, to go to somebody's backyard with?
No, not at all. Not at all. Povetkin is just one man. You know, he's one man out of many. I can't focus my mind over one man out of one country doing certain things. I mean, you know, we know certain people, certain countries that's going to attempt to do certain things. That's why the VADA or whoever, you know, the testing people that's out there, the companies that's out there, that's why we hire them to do what they do, you know, and VADA is one of the best. You know, they make sure everything's straight. You know, we all want just a fair playing field. So I can't fault, you know, what Povetkin did towards what my goal and accomplishment, what I want to do to build my legacy or to end my legacy off of. And after this fight, but first of all, you know, I like to tell, you know, we take every fighter seriously, no matter who they are, no matter what they done, even if they're 1-0, they can be 0-1. We take them very, very, very seriously because this game is a very, very serious sport. It's the hurt business. When motherfuckers get in there and try to knock your head off, I know that's what I try to do, knock his head off. You know, so I like to we taking Washington very seriously. We don't care what kind of experience he has or where he came. We taking him as if he's the champion and I'm the challenger. So I always say that I never look past a fighter, but I do look through a fighter. I window shop a little bit. You know, I don't think that's too harmful to do. Window shop a little bit. So, you know. So when I window shop, you know, I see that whoever has the title, that's what I want. You know, I wouldn't mind going after the Parker after this fight, let Joshua and Klitschko do their thing, win that 2 belts, and at the end of the year we combine 2 and 2. That's 4 belts in all and unify the division. One man, one face, one title. That's Deontay Wilder. That's what I see come happen.
And my next question is for Gerald. Gerald, the fact that your name is not as big as Deontay, and people are like, who's this guy? Why should I even watch? I don't even know who he is. What do you want people to know about you and what you bring to the table?
Man, I don't know, man. I don't mean nothing to me, man. I'm just here to fight, man. I'm here to fight, man. I'm coming to get this. I'm glad Deontay Wilder is taking me seriously, man, because I'm coming, man. I'm coming with everything I got. I'm working hard, I'm training hard, I'm preparing myself well. You know, I'm watching film, I'm doing everything that I got to do, man. And I'm like, I don't care about none of that. Everybody know who I am after February 25th, and that's it, man. I don't have to explain nothing. You know, and all I know is I'm working, man. I'm working working, and I'm gonna be ready.
And would this be the biggest moment of your career so far?
Yeah, I think that'd be the biggest moment of my life, man. To be the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a big moment.
And my final question for Deontay, how much does it feel good to be able to put that belt on the line one more time in Birmingham when you got all the support and vanquish another person coming to your backyard as you are the heavyweight champion of the world right now?
Man, I tell you, it's a phenomenal feeling, man. You know, to be able to say I feed my people, and when I say about my people, I'm talking about my state. You know, I'm talking about everybody around in the state of Alabama, because this wasn't a boxing state. This state wasn't built for the boxing. You know, it was football and basketball. You know, mostly football and stuff like that. But it was at one upon a time, me and my longtime trainer Jay Dees, we had a discussion, said we're gonna fight here one day, you know. And that one day, and that dream became a reality. And that one day, you know, also came, and now here is the fourth time or so like that. You know, I done brought millions of dollars to this state, you know. And I love my state. I love where I'm from, you know. And there's no place like home. A lot of fighters can't fight at home. They can't do this, you know. And so whenever opportunity come about that I can fight home, I can fight in my state and let my people eat here, I'm gonna do it, man. It's an enjoyable feeling. You know, sometimes it can get you can lose focus at times because you're from here. Everybody loves you. Everybody wants to call you. Everybody wants to be around you. Everybody wants tickets. You know, those sort of little things that come with it. But with that being said, you still have to have focus, and you still mentally have to control everything that's around you, and have a great team that control it as well too. When you don't feel like doing certain things, you know, you can't be nice all the time. Sometimes people got to understand that I got a mission that I must accomplish, and if I don't accomplish that, then you're not going to be around. If I lose, you're not going to be around. Let's face it. You know, all these people in my face. If I lose, you know, it's going to be real quiet with the champ. You the best. And it's going to turn into, I told you. You know, it was a matter of time. You know, so we understand all aspects of the situation. But, you know, I'm loving it. I love Alabama. And this is just one of many that we're going to do.
Good luck, guys. We'll look forward to watching y'all. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Our next question is going to come from Eddie Goldman from No Holds Barred. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. First question for Gerald. Gerald, this is obviously a step up for you in competition. You guys are approximately the same size, approximately the same reach. Tell us why you think you can win this fight and take the title from Deontay.
It's just a matter of all the work that I'm putting in. You know, the lessons that I get here in the gym. You know, the training, just the sparring, just putting it all together. You know, understanding the boxing in my mind. You know, I know Deontay Wilder. We all know what he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? He's big, strong, knockouts. You know what I'm saying? We fight in his backyard. We're gonna have all those people there. We know all that, but we can't get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be there. And we just got to focus on us, man, focus on our game, make sure we tight, you know, physically and mentally, and we prepare for this moment, you know what I'm saying? That's all that matters to me. I only had a month's time to prepare, and but I'm ready to go, man. I learned lessons in the gym, and I had hard lessons, you know, things didn't go, you know, but you need those hard lessons and when you're growing as a fighter. You know, you gotta go through that stuff to understand what's going on, because you get in there and you got a false sense of what's going on. No, you need reality checks. You know what I'm saying? And that's what boxing does do. It'll humble you. It'll teach you a lesson. So you know when you need it. You know what I mean? So everything happens when it's supposed to happen. I'm glad for all the lessons. I'm glad for all the great training. My trainer John Pullman here at Pullman's Gym, man. We having a great time with this. You know what I'm saying? We having fun. We learning. You know, it don't always go the way you want it to go, but we learn from that and we get better. You know what I'm saying? We need to add those and we stack those up, man. And now we're ready to rock.
And Deontay, other than the obvious thing of experience, what do you think your advantages are in this fight against Gerald?
I mean, just my mental state of mind, you know. Outside of the ring, we all know I'm Deontay Wilder. I'm the most nicest person in the world, you know. call myself a giant teddy bear. But when I get in the ring, I'm the Bronze Bomber. And the Bronze Bomber, he's a different person. I'm glad. I'm so happy that I can change between the Bronze Bomber and Deontay Wilder. Some people can't. And if Deontay Bronze Bomber got a loose in the streets, it won't be something nice. You know, I don't. When I'm in the ring, all I think about is knocking my opponent's head off, getting him out of there, hurting him, putting pain to him. You know, I don't have no mercy. I have no pity. You know, until I knock him out or do what I got to do, that's when I feel sympathy for my fighters, because, you know, I know they have a family. I know there's somebody's son, you know, or sometimes be their father. You know, I understand that. I'm a family person as well too. But when I have two fighters, when they're in front of me on their feet, it's a different story. And I think mentally, I'm always mentally strong over all these fighters. You know, I really feel that I can't be beat. That's just the mentality I have, knowing that every man can be beat. We're not mortal, you know what I mean? Nobody's God, but that's just the mentality I brings in the ring, that I am the lion of this jungle. I call the ring the jungle. I am the king of it. And I approach myself accordingly like that. I am very vicious in the ring. I am a savage in the ring. I have no remorse for fighters in the ring. I really do that because this is the hurt business. He's trying to do the same thing to me what I'm trying to do to him. And that's win. And when it's winning, you do whatever it takes, by all means necessary, to win. And that's what I go in there too. So, it's a lot of things I could say, but, you know, overall, I think my mental state of mind, is always stronger.
Does the fact that this fight is on Fox on a Saturday night, prime time, you're going to have millions of people watching this, does this give a little added incentive to try to make a statement during this fight?
Yeah, I enjoy fighting on Fox. You know, I enjoy fighting on free TV, giving the people something to see. You know, I always think about, you know, people, whether they watch it at the heavyweight division or whether they in the audience, you know, tuning in from there. You know, I always think that they want to see knockouts. You know, people, when they see the heavyweight division, they want to see knockouts. They want to see excitement. And you know, with the knockouts and even the excitement, I haven't failed. You know, I've always been excited. Even if the knockout didn't come out, I've always been excited. I've always put my feelings in my fighting, and my motivation is my children, and I've always carried them in my thoughts and in my heart with me in the ring. You know, so with that being said, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm just looking forward to everything. I can't wait. This is my comeback party over my major injury on my hand and bicep, you know, which is feeling great, and I can't wait to test it out. You know, I'm just happy that I'm back in the scene, you know, being able to do something that I love to do, where I'm the most happiest at, you know, and I just thank God for this opportunity, this moment. I'm very grateful.
And do either of you want to make a prediction for the fight, Deontay?
Well, you all, like I just said, you know, my thing, I go for the knockouts. You know, I go for the knockouts. You know, at this point in time in my career, I'm very relaxed now. You know, when I first came out, of course I was wild. You know, my last name is Wilder, so you know, I was wild. But now, as I started to get the experience and even more getting the fights, I kind of have slowed down and just relaxed and wait on the opening and stuff like that. But you know, to answer your question now, and for anybody that has the same question in the future, Deontay Wilder don't play games. Deontay Wilder come to destroy the man that's in front of him. So I think that answers your question.
So the next question will be the last question.
That was the last question, then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you. If not on February 25th in Birmingham, Alabama, then we hope you'll be tuned in to Fox and to Fox Deportes at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time on February 25th to see this great card headlined by the WBC Heavyweight Championship between Deontay Wilder and Gerald Washington. Thank you, Deontay, and thank you, Gerald. And also thanks to Tony Harrison and Jared Hurd for having joined us on this call. So plenty of tickets are still available. The tickets are really affordable, and there are loads of $25 seats available. So anyone who can get down to Birmingham, Alabama, we hope to see you there. And thank you for joining us on this call.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me. I'll disconnect and have a great day.